Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with a simple truth. The world doesn't wait for anyone. Nations that learn to adapt, innovate, and connect move forward, while those that hesitate are left behind. But every once in a while, a country rises from challenges with a new vision, one that surprises the world. Today, I want to talk about such a country, Pakistan, and a single economic move that could put it back on the global map in ways few could have imagined. This isn't a story of politics or promises. It's a real story of geography turning into opportunity, of technology creating empowerment, and of young minds shaping a new destiny. You see, transformation never happens overnight. It begins when people decide to look at problems differently. And that is exactly what's happening right now in Pakistan, quietly but powerfully. In the next few moments, we will explore how this nation, once seen through the lens of crisis, is now building its way back through innovation, trade, and human potential. You will see how renewable energy, digital talent, and regional connectivity are becoming the pillars of a new economic identity. So, I invite you to stay with me till the end of this talk. Because what you'll discover is not just about Pakistan's future, it's a lesson for every nation, every entrepreneur, and every dreamer who believes that resilience and imagination can change destiny. This is not just an economic move, it's the beginning of a comeback story the world needs to hear. Pakistan's geographic position has always been one of its greatest yet underutilized advantages. Situated at the intersection of South Asia, Central Asia, and the Middle East, the country serves as a natural bridge connecting some of the world's most dynamic and resource-rich regions. This location offers enormous potential for trade, energy transit, and regional integration factors that could play a transformative role in Pakistan's economic future if managed strategically. To the north lies China and the Central Asian republics, rich in energy and mineral resources, but landlocked, seeking efficient access to global markets. To the south, the Arabian Sea connects Pakistan to the Gulf states and major maritime routes leading to Africa and Europe. To the east lies India, one of the world's largest consumer markets, and to the west, Iran and Afghanistan, gateways to West Asia and beyond. This proximity to multiple economic zones means Pakistan could become a vital corridor for trade, logistics, and energy flow if infrastructure and policy stability align. The most visible step toward realizing this potential has been the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC. Through CPE, Pakistan is developing deep-sea ports like Gwadar, energy projects, and high-speed road and rail networks that connect Western China to the Arabian Sea. While the corridor began as a bilateral project, its long-term vision extends beyond China-Pakistan trade. It could serve as a multi-nation route linking Central Asia to the Indian Ocean, opening opportunities for regional countries seeking efficient export pathways. However, geography alone does not guarantee success. Strategic connectivity must be complemented by efficient border management, transparent trade policies, and regional cooperation based on mutual economic interest. For example, improved trade with Afghanistan and Central Asia could open new markets for Pakistani goods, while participation in energy projects like the Casa 1000 power corridor and Tapi gas pipeline could reduce the country's energy deficit and strengthen regional interdependence. At a time when the global economy is redefining supply chains and energy routes, Pakistan's position gives it leverage that few nations possess. The key lies in transforming this geographic advantage into an integrated economic strategy, one that connects not only roads and ports, but also people, markets, and ideas across regions. If developed with vision and diplomacy, Pakistan's location could become its greatest driver of peace, stability, and global relevance once again. Over the past decade, Pakistan has witnessed a gradual yet meaningful shift toward a digital and technology-driven economy. This evolution, though often understated, represents one of the most promising developments in the country's economic landscape. The digital economy now contributes significantly to national growth, supported by a rapidly expanding IT export sector, a young population embracing innovation and increasing access to global online markets. With over 60% of its population under the age of 30, Pakistan possesses a demographic advantage that few nations enjoy, and this generation's adaptability to technology is shaping a new kind of national capability, one that is powered by knowledge rather than resources. In recent years, Pakistan's ITT and software export industry has surpassed 3.5 billion, with projections suggesting it could double within the next 5 years. The growth is driven by software development, fintech, e-commerce, and remote freelancing areas where Pakistani professionals have made significant inroads internationally. Platforms such as Upwork and Fiverr rank Pakistan among the top countries for freelance exports, indicating a growing recognition of its human capital in the global digital marketplace. Development has allowed young professionals to generate income independent of traditional industries, helping to balance the country's trade deficit and strengthen foreign exchange reserves. The government and private sector have also started to recognize the digital economy as a national priority. Initiatives such as Digital Pakistan and the creation of technology zones aim to attract foreign investment, promote local startups, and build infrastructure that can sustain innovation. Tech incubators, co-working spaces, and venture capital networks are emerging in major cities like Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad, where young entrepreneurs are creating products and solutions. As for both domestic and international markets, the rise of fintech in particular is transforming access to finance, allowing millions of unbanked citizens to engage in digital payments and online commerce. Despite the challenges of inconsistent internet access and regulatory hurdles, Pakistan's progress in digital transformation is evident. Global technology firms are increasingly outsourcing work to Pakistani developers, while local startups are beginning to attract international recognition and funding. With sustained investment in education, cybersecurity, and digital infrastructure, Pakistan could shift from being a low-cost labor provider to a creator of high-value technology solutions. This ongoing transformation has the potential not only to modernize the economy, but to redefine Pakistan's global identity as an emerging center of digital innovation and entrepreneurial talent. Pakistan's move toward renewable energy marks a crucial phase in its journey toward economic stability and sustainability. For decades, the country's energy sector has struggled with dependence on imported fossil fuels, high production costs, and frequent power shortages that hinder industrial growth. This reliance has not only strained foreign exchange reserves, but also exposed Pakistan to fluctuations in global oil prices. Recognizing this vulnerability, Pakistan has started to shift its focus toward renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydropower, a transformation that could redefine its economic foundation over the coming decade. The potential for renewable energy in Pakistan is immense. Vast stretches of land in Sindh, Balochistan, and southern Punjab receive some of the highest solar radiation levels in Asia, making them ideal for large-scale solar power generation. Similarly, the coastal regions of Sindh and Balochistan experience consistent wind flows that can be harnessed for sustainable electricity production. The government, in collaboration with private investors, has launched multiple renewable projects like the Quaid-e-Azam Solar Park in Bahawalpur and the Shimpir Wind Corridor, which are gradually contributing to the national grid. These projects not only produce clean energy, but also create employment opportunities and attract foreign direct investment from environmentally conscious partners. One of the key drivers of this transition is the realization that renewable energy can reduce Pakistan's import bill while ensuring long-term energy security. Every megawatt generated domestically through clean sources lessens the country's dependence on imported oil and gas, freeing up resources for other sectors such as health, education, and infrastructure. Moreover, renewable projects can be established faster and with lower operational costs compared to traditional thermal power plants, allowing for a more flexible and decentralized energy network that benefits both urban and rural communities. International organizations and development partners have also recognized Pakistan's renewable potential, offering financial and technical assistance to support the country's green transition. The growing global emphasis on climate responsibility aligns well with Pakistan's needs as it remains among the nations most affected by climate change. By scaling up investment in renewables and adopting policies that encourage public-private partnerships, Pakistan can transform its energy deficit into an opportunity for growth and environmental leadership. This ongoing transition not only addresses economic vulnerabilities, but also positions the country as a responsible contributor to the global shift toward cleaner and more sustainable energy systems. Agriculture has long been the backbone of Pakistan's economy, employing more than a third of its workforce and contributing significantly to exports and rural livelihoods. Yet, for decades, this vital sector has operated below its potential due to outdated practices, inefficient water usage, and limited access to modern technology. Recently, however, a gradual transformation has begun, driven by innovation, investment, and a growing realization that modernization in agriculture is essential for long-term food security and economic resilience. This shift toward modernization could be one of the most impactful economic developments in Pakistan's journey toward global competitiveness. New technologies and digital tools are beginning to reshape how farming is done across Pakistan's agricultural belt. Precision agriculture, which uses satellite data, sensors, and drones, is helping farmers monitor soil health, optimize irrigation, and improve crop yields. Startups in agri-tech are emerging, offering mobile applications that provide real-time information on weather, pest control, and market prices. These digital solutions allow small farmers, who make up the majority of Pakistan's agricultural workforce, to make data-driven decisions and reduce losses caused by unpredictable climate conditions. In parallel, modern irrigation systems such as drip and sprinkler technologies are being promoted to address the country's chronic water management issues, ensuring that every drop of water is used efficiently in a region prone to scarcity. Government initiatives and private sector collaborations are also contributing to this change. Programs that focus on crop diversification, seed improvement, and sustainable farming practices are helping enhance productivity. International organizations and research institutions are working with Pakistan's agricultural universities to introduce climate-resilient crop varieties capable of withstanding floods and droughts. The dairy, fisheries, and horticulture industries are similarly seeing an increase in investment, expanding Pakistan's agricultural exports beyond traditional crops like wheat, rice, and cotton. The export potential of a modernized agricultural sector is enormous. By improving value chains, introducing cold storage facilities, and strengthening logistics networks, Pakistan can move from exporting raw commodities to processed and value-added products, capturing higher returns in global markets. This transformation also aligns with growing global demand for organic and sustainably produced food, offering Pakistan an opportunity to position itself as a responsible agricultural supplier. Modernizing agriculture is not just about increasing yields. It is about creating an ecosystem where technology, sustainability, and innovation converge to uplift millions of farmers and make Pakistan a reliable player in the international food economy. Regional trade integration represents one of the most promising yet underdeveloped economic frontiers for Pakistan. Its location at the crossroads of South Asia, Central Asia, and the Middle East gives it a natural advantage to serve as a trade and energy hub, connecting diverse economies through transport corridors and shared markets. Historically, Pakistan was part of ancient trade routes like the Silk Road that facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and culture between Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Today, as regional economies expand and global trade networks evolve, Pakistan has the opportunity to reclaim that role through modern infrastructure, cooperative diplomacy, and strategic economic policies focused on regional connectivity. The concept of regional integration extends beyond the movement of goods. It includes energy cooperation, digital trade, transport facilitation, and investment partnerships. Pakistan's participation in the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, has laid the groundwork for broader connectivity, linking China's western provinces to the Arabian Sea through Gwadar Port. If effectively managed, this network could extend its benefits to neighboring countries such as Afghanistan, Iran, and the Central Asian republics, giving them access to global maritime trade routes while positioning Pakistan as a key transit and logistics center. Similarly, initiatives like the Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India Tapi gas pipeline and the Kasa 1000 electricity project aim to enhance energy trade across the region, ensuring shared prosperity through interdependence rather than competition. However, realizing this vision requires stability, trust, and efficient governance. Political and security challenges have long limited the full potential of regional trade in South and Central Asia. Pakistan's approach must therefore prioritize building economic partnerships based on mutual benefit and peace. Simplifying customs procedures, upgrading border infrastructure, and harmonizing trade regulations with neighboring states can facilitate smoother cross-border commerce. In addition, fostering stronger diplomatic and economic relations with Gulf countries could open further opportunities for investment and export diversification. Modern global trade increasingly values connectivity and collaboration by integrating with regional supply chains and participating in transnational projects. Pakistan can expand its market access and attract foreign investment. As global powers compete for influence across Asia, Pakistan's most effective strategy lies in becoming a bridge rather than a boundary, a connector of economies through trade, energy, and shared growth. Strengthened regional integration could not only boost Pakistan's exports and industrial base, but also reinforce its role as a stabilizing economic force in one of the world's most strategic regions. Pakistan's greatest untapped resource is not its land, minerals, or infrastructure. It is its people, particularly its youth. With over 64% of its population under the age of 30, Pakistan is among the youngest nations in the world, and this demographic advantage presents both an opportunity and a responsibility. If properly educated, skilled, and empowered, this young generation could become the engine driving Pakistan's economic transformation. However, realizing this potential depends on how effectively the country invests in human capital and encourages entrepreneurship as a foundation for sustainable development. In recent years, there has been a noticeable shift in how young Pakistanis view work and opportunity. Many no longer aspire solely to government jobs or traditional careers. Instead, they are turning towards startups, freelancing, and innovation-driven ventures. The rise of digital platforms has enabled young entrepreneurs to reach international markets from within Pakistan, offering services in technology, design, finance, and education. This shift has also led to the growth of business incubators, venture capital funds, and entrepreneurship support programs in major cities. These developments are creating a new ecosystem where creativity and problem solving are increasingly seen as valuable economic skills. Education remains central to this transformation. Universities and training centers are expanding programs in information technology, engineering, renewable energy, and business management to prepare students for a rapidly changing global economy. The government and private sector have also introduced digital learning initiatives, coding boot camps, and scholarships to promote skill development. However, beyond academic knowledge, Pakistan's youth are beginning to adopt a mindset of self-reliance and innovation, essential qualities in an era where global competition rewards adaptability and critical thinking. Empowering women and underrepresented communities is another vital part of this equation. Greater inclusion in education, technology, and entrepreneurship is gradually diversifying the country's workforce, ensuring that economic growth benefits more segments of society. International organizations and investors are also recognizing this demographic strength, collaborating on projects that promote youth entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and startup funding. Harnessing human capital requires more than just training. It demands an environment that rewards innovation and protects new ideas. By fostering entrepreneurship, promoting digital inclusion, and linking education to industry needs, Pakistan can turn its population growth into a strategic advantage. A nation's true strength lies not in its resources, but in the creativity, ambition, and resilience of its people, qualities that Pakistan's youth increasingly embody. Ladies and gentlemen, as we reflect on Pakistan's journey and the opportunities ahead, one truth becomes clear: the nation's path to global relevance will not be shaped by chance, but by choice. The choice to transform its geography into connectivity, its challenges into innovation, and its youth into the architects of a new economic era. From renewable energy to digital transformation, from agricultural modernization to regional trade integration, every effort represents a step toward a more resilient, self-sustaining, and forward-looking Pakistan. The world today rewards those who build bridges, not barriers. Pakistan's true strength lies not only in its natural resources or strategic location, but in its willingness to learn, adapt, and collaborate. The future will belong to the nations that use knowledge as their currency and creativity as their capital, and Pakistan has both in abundance. The economic move that could put Pakistan on the global map again is not a single project or policy. It is a collective awakening, a realization that progress is built on unity, vision, and trust. It is the courage to invest in human potential, the wisdom to embrace sustainability, and the determination to compete through innovation rather than isolation. To all those who believe in Pakistan's promise, policymakers, entrepreneurs, educators, and global partners, this is a call to imagine bigger, to act boldly, and to shape a story of growth that benefits not only one nation, but the entire region. The world is watching, and perhaps for the first time in decades, the winds of possibility are shifting in Pakistan's favor. Good luck to those who continue to build, innovate, and lead with integrity. The journey ahead may be challenging, but it is filled with opportunity for those who dare to believe. Thank you, and may the spirit of collaboration and progress guide every step toward a brighter, more connected future.